Hello, this is Tim Dial with Nexa Mortgage. I am the Dial Mortgage Coach, which is what I like to go by. And one thing that I hadn't done for quite a while was I hadn't really put together anything regarding credit scores, and how to improve credit. So I wanted to do that, put this together, include it on my YouTube channel, and then additionally with some customers, I can make this available by sending it to them, and that way they have the information available. A lot of this information I'm going to be going over, I actually have in an email that I sent to people, so that way they've got like a hard copy, something to follow that they can refer back to. But it's also nice to have a video that explains it in a little bit more detail. So anyway, I'm going to get right into it and go over some of this information. Like on the email, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can kind of see what the email looks like and some of the information included, so that so it makes a little more sense here, and it also helps to guide me as well as far as what I want to talk about. So anyway, this is the email that I send out. It's got some good information in here as far as how the whole credit thing works. One thing that people don't realize is that one of the biggest items that the credit bureaus look at is what's called credit utilization percentage, and it's based on your revolving accounts like credit cards. And so what they do is they say, okay, here's how much credit you have available on a card. Here's how much your balance is on that card, and they calculate a percentage, how much is your balance versus the amount you have available. So as an example, if they look at it and they say, okay, this is $1,000, they have $1,000 available on this card, they owe $900 on it, that's 90% utilization. That looks bad and it hurts your score. You take that same account, you get it paid down to say under 300. They're going to say, okay, they're under 30% utilization. That looks much better and improves your score. So that's one of the things they look at that a lot of people don't understand. So if you have cards that are, especially this, we see this a lot with smaller cards. People will have a card, it's like a $300 credit limit, and they'll owe like $290 on it or something. And that's nearly 100%, but it's still a small amount. So if they just kept that paid down to under like $50, it would make a big impact on their credit score. So that's something to definitely take into consideration. I even recommend for people to go into those cards, make payments on them 2 or 3 times a month just to keep the balance down. Because if you wait till the end of the month and then you pay a big portion at once, then it's still the same effect. You're still paying the same amount, but you've allowed the balance to go up during the month, and it's all based on when they report. So if the balance is 250 out of the 300, when they report, they're going to show this high balance, even though you might pay it down to 10 at the end of the month or something. So it's all based on when they report. So I always recommend try to go in, make multiple payments if needed, or just use the card sparingly. Use it for gas once a month or something like that, and just try to keep the balance low, and it's going to make a big impact. So I have that information in here as far as how that works. But then other things that you have to consider as well is if you have any accounts go like 30 days past due, it's going to drop your score by 50 to 80 points a lot of times. So try not to have that happen. If it goes past due, that's one thing. But it's once it goes 30 days past due is when it really hurts your score. And so you want to try to keep that from happening, and try to get at least your minimums paid on those accounts. And so that's going to make a big impact for you. And then other things to look at as well is other ways that you can improve your scores are what's called authorized user accounts. If you're not familiar with what an authorized user account is, let's say you have limited credit yourself, but you have a relative who has good credit, and they have a credit card they've had for 4 or 5 years or something like that. If they have a credit card that has a $2,000 credit limit, let's say they only owe a few $100s on it or something like that, then if they add you as an authorized user on that card, you'll get full credit for their entire credit history on that account. I've seen people improve their scores by 50 to 100 points within a month by getting added as an authorized user on a relative's account. So something to keep in mind. If you have anybody like that willing to help you, keep in mind they don't have to give you access to the credit. The extra card just goes to them. They can put it in a drawer, cut it up, whatever they want to do. They don't have to give you access to the credit. They're just allowing you to benefit from their good credit. So she was 18, she had like a 680 credit score, and she didn't have any of her own credit. So that's how you can kind of manipulate the system a little bit to improve your credit scores. Something else I wanted to cover: if you don't have any of your own credit, you need to establish credit. Revolving credit is very important. So you can go to OpenSkyCC.com, and they have secured cards. You can put like $300 on a secured card, and then they give you that much in credit. It's like you make a deposit, they give you that much in credit, and you just want to use it sparingly. Like I said, try to keep the balance low. And it takes longer to improve your credit, but every month you should improve your credit a little bit because you have that credit available. That's only if you don't already have established credit through revolving accounts. So keep that in mind. That's just another way to start improving your credit scores. Another thing you want to do is go to this site called optoutprescreen.com. If you go to optoutprescreen.com, you can opt out of receiving firm offers of credit for 5 years. And this is important because if you're receiving firm offers of credit in the mail, then that means that you're on one of these lists. And every time that somebody puts you on that list, it's like 2 or 3 points it hurts you on your credit, and you don't even know it's happening. So I've seen people improve their scores by opting out by 10 to 15 points within a couple of months. And so it doesn't make a huge difference, but over time it does start to add up. And so I always recommend for people to opt out of those firm offers of credit, and it'll opt you out for 5 years. And so let me go ahead, and I've got another screen here. This shows what their site looks like. So if you look here, this is what it'll take you to. This is a government site, basically, optoutprescreen.com. It allows people to opt out of those offers of credit. The other thing too is if you're getting those offers of credit in the mail, what if somebody stole your mail and they signed up for a credit card that you had gotten a pre-approved offer on or something like that, right? That's not something you want to happen anyway, so you're better off to opt out for that reason as well. This is how some people will commit fraud by submitting on your behalf these firm offers of credit when you get pre-approved like that. So anyway, what you want to do is once you go on this site, optoutprescreen.com, you go to the bottom, hit click here to opt out, and then just hit continue. Oh, hold on, I forgot. Let me go back. Okay, you actually have to choose one of these, and what you want to do is you want to choose electronic opt out for 5 years. That's what you want to choose, and you can also. This is something that they've added that's more new. This is something you've added that's more new. You can permanently opt out by mail. Let me see what this says here because this is new. Oh, that you have to print a form and send it. So you don't want to do that. You want to do the electronic for 5 years. Okay, so let's see. And electronic opt out for 5 years. You basically just go in and fill this form out. It takes like 5 minutes. Put all your information in here. Say I am human. It'll have you do these pictures and all this kind of stuff, and then hit confirm, and it'll give you like a confirmation or something like that. So that's how the opt out works, and so it's pretty simple and easy. It takes you like 5 minutes to do it, and it's very worthwhile to not get those offers of credit in the mail. Additionally, the other thing that's kind of nice about it too is if you do the opt out, then if and when someone pulls your credit, you're not going to have a bunch of creditors calling you out of the woodwork to try and get you to do a loan of some sort, because the credit bureaus sell your information, and so if you go and you have your credit pulled by somebody, you're going to get a bunch of people contacting you because they want your business and they want to do the loan instead of whoever you're going through, and so it's just going to save you some headaches there as well, because they can't contact you. You won't be included on those lists, and they won't be contacting you if you do get your credit pulled. So just another thing that will be helpful. And so that's pretty much it. And what we're really looking for is we're trying to bring your scores up to at least a 600 credit score level, because that's sort of the minimum for down payment assistance, is like a 600. I've got somebody right now with a 603. We're getting him a grant for down payment assistance. If he had a 620, there's a different program we could get him on that would be a little bit better, but the grant's a good program. And then we also have programs that are like 640 or better. So being at least 600 is where you want to be, so that we can get you into a down payment program that works. And that's pretty much what I wanted to cover here. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the screen share here. And I wanted to cover that in pretty short detail, but I hadn't put anything about credit on here for a while, and I wanted to make sure that I've covered it, because I get a lot of questions about credit and how it works and what people can do to improve their scores. So if you have any other questions or anything, here are my phone numbers. Feel free to reach out to me when you get the opportunity. I'm always here to help.